If you want to be the best team in football, you need to improve your squad every single year. Top clubs spend a lot of money on these transfers, and while some of them turn out to be incredibly good, or at least an okay improvement of the squad, there have also been some terrible transfers over the years. Now that's why I show you the 10 worst transfers of all time in this video. In 10th we have Alvaro Morata, who switched from Real Madrid to FC Chelsea in the summer of 2017. After just one good season at Real Madrid, Chelsea signed the player for $66 million. But unfortunately, he could never live up to the expectations that were set with this high transfer fee. Then in ninth, we have Neymar's transfer from Barcelona to PSG in 2017 for a record-breaking 222 million. This transfer is a lot different, because Neymar definitely had his good times at PSG, but he never achieved his goal. Neymar wanted to step out of Lionel Messi's shadow and become a superstar in his own team. And also he wanted to bring PSG their first Champions League title. But soon after he joined, he got overshadowed by Kylian Mbappe again. And then after Messi joined, all hopes on being the superstar of the team were gone. What's even more is that PSG didn't win the Champions League title, even with Neymar. So he failed on all his major goals at the club. This is also why PSG was fairly happy when Neymar switched to Saudi Arabia. The next case needs no introduction.
Harry Maguire!
In 2019, Man United signed the talented Harry Maguire from Leicester City. And Harry Maguire was a really good defender at that time, having just played a really good season at Leicester. But there's just one problem: the transfer fee was way too high. Man United paid 87 million euros, which is the highest ever paid for a defender. And with this, there come exceptionally high expectations. Harry Maguire never really lived up to these expectations because of his crucial fails and some really big mistakes in the last line of defense, which made him a really unstable defender, even though he played fairly well for the club and is also the team captain right now. But one thing I must add here is that the Man United fans are not pro Harry Maguire, because they are regularly participating and shouting against their centre back. And then we are in 7th, which I will give to Antoine Griezmann's transfer from Atletico Madrid to Barcelona in 2019. The Blaugrana paid 120 million, even after Griezmann rejected the transfer 1 year earlier. This meant that when Griezmann arrived at the Camp Nou, he already had no support from the fans. What's even more is that Griezmann never really performed at his best at the Camp Nou, which is why the Blaugrana loaned him 2 years later again to Atletico Madrid, which he joined 1 year after. And after he switched to Atletico Madrid, he was again playing phenomenally, which means that he just wasn't fitting into the Barca squad. I will give number 6 to Joao Felix transfer from Benfica to Atletico Madrid, which was also in 2019. Atletico Madrid paid out 126 million euros for this transfer and never really got this high transfer fee back, because Felix said he just wants to have fun, which is kind of ironic if you're playing under Diego Simeone, who's really keen on having disciplined players in his squad. During his time at Atletico, he always struggled with his discipline, and also he didn't really perform that well, meaning his stats weren't as good as they were when he was at Benfica, which is also why Atletico sent him on loan to Chelsea. Then in 5th we have Romelu Lukaku's transfer from Inter Milan to FC Chelsea, which took place in 2021. Chelsea paid 113 million euros for the striker, which clearly meant that they wanted him to become their main striker and carry the team in hard times. And his first season was really good at Chelsea, but in the second season he rather performed poorly, and with that he got really unhappy, even saying in an interview that he missed his former club Inter Milan and that he doesn't like Thomas Tuchel's tactics. And after you lost the support of your coach, there's basically no way to recover, which is also why he got on loan to AS Rome. New dimensions were reached by the player number 4, as it was the first player to ever cost more than 100 million euros. Of course, I'm talking about Paul Pogba. Man United paid 105 million euros to Juventus to sign him in 2016. But with being the first player to cost more than $100 million, obviously there's a really high expectation from your club. which Pogba never really lived up to. While he played fairly well with the club at some times, even winning one Carabao Cup for example, he didn't play really consistent throughout the times, which is why a lot of Man United fans were happy to get rid of him in the summer of 2022. In third, we have another Barca transfer, which was Philippe Coutinho, who they signed in the summer of 2018 from FC Liverpool. The Blaugrana paid 135 million euros for him, but clearly the Blaugrana didn't know what to do with him, because he never really appeared to be a key part of the squad. The most significant moment he had with Barca is basically while he was on loan with Munich, scoring 2 goals against them in the semi-finals of the Champions League. And after never really performing at Barcelona, he moved to Aston Villa in 2022. Then in second, we have the only time Real Madrid appears on this list, which is with the transfer of Eden Hazard, when they bought him from Chelsea for 120 million euros. When they signed him in 2019, it seemed like the transfer had been a long time in the making, and then he already had a rough start, turning up overweight on the preseason training. To be fair, Eden Hazard also had a lot of injuries, but he also struggled with his discipline and therefore could never live up to the times when he played at Chelsea. And in first place, we have another time that FC Barcelona appears on this list, making it a total of 3 times. This transfer is the transfer of Ousmane Dembélé from Dortmund to Barcelona. The Blaugrana paid a whopping 135 million euros for him in 2017. After Neymar left, Barcelona decided that they need to get someone to replace him. And they found him in the young talent of Ousmane Dembélé, who had just played one really good season for Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga. But Dortmund was playing hard on the transfer, meaning the Blaugrana paid way too much on this transfer, because they desperately wanted to sign him. During his time at Barcelona, Ousmane Dembélé really struggled with his discipline. For example, playing video games until the early hours of the morning and then appearing too late for training or for a team discussion. Also, there were reports that his diet was really bad. He himself even stated that he lost 5 years of his career by his unprofessional lifestyle. What's even more is that Barcelona was tolerating these things because they thought that he's an especially talented player and therefore deserved special treatment. But although Barcelona gave him multiple chances, he never really took one. And this unprofessional lifestyle really showed on the football pitch as well, because Dembélé never had a season for Barcelona in which he had more than 10 scorer points. This is also why a lot of people at Barcelona were really happy when he switched to PSG. You can clearly see how important good transfers are for your club, because if you're just burning money over time, your club will definitely suffer. This can clearly be seen on this list, as every single club appearing multiple times on this list, meaning Barcelona, Manchester United and FC Chelsea, are all struggling in some form. Barcelona is struggling with their financials, meaning they nearly escaped bankruptcy a few years prior. And Man United and Chelsea continually struggle to re-implement themselves as a top 4 club in the Premier League. If you got any value out of this video, feel free to leave it a like and subscribe to the channel. You can ask any sort of questions regarding the topic in the comments below. Have a great day. Bye.